what were your expectations, or, impacted by one game, I guess, if you want, are your expectations for this team in terms of number of wins and where they finish in the East?
I don't have a specific number of wins in mind. I think that the East overall has gotten a lot tougher. So I am curious to see where records end up. I mean, I know a lot of the focus going into game one for the Knicks, especially, they had 41 wins, surpassed expectations in a 72 game season, but not expected to win 41 again this year just because of the competition in the East. And so I do expect the Celtics to improve from last season. And I'm hopeful for a top 4 or 5 finish in the East. I mean, I think that I do think a top 4 is possible and to get home court advantage in the first round. But throughout the preseason, I was very intrigued and excited about the added depth and what is possible. And we saw that shine in the preseason. And I think some of that was taken away with Al Horford and Josh Richardson being out for game one. And so I do think that can carry over. I think that the talent level has risen, and I am really, and we haven't touched on the young guys much at all. I'm so excited for Romeo Langford and the confidence that he is playing with right now. And I've talked to him multiple times since training camp started. And he just feels like a different guy than we've seen from the past couple of years. Aaron Nesmith, while not necessarily what we saw in the preseason carried over into game one, but he also, I feel like, has made some leaps and will continue to grow and has that work mindset. And so that is there. And Peyton Pritchard, obviously making some adjustments with the mask. I think that is going to be a work in progress for him, but the depth and the improvement that we have seen from the Celtics young guys who are still here is also very exciting to me.
Had the over-under for the Celtics coming into the year 46.5 wins. I think that was the number, or at least that was the general ballpark of the number. So if you don't have a specific number in mind, you want to take the over or the under on that?
I'm going under.
Under. Okay. Well, top 4 in the East is going to be tough to get.
I know. That's true. Very true.
Yeah, what about you, Evan? Where are we at? What's your number?
We said 46.5. Oh man. Life's too short to take the under, so I'll take the over. But I do think this team, it's tough because, what does Philly what happens with Philly is a terrific question. Are the Hawks, now that the Hawks have expectations, what does that look like? The Knicks, again, with the expectations, what does that look like? I mean, there's the obvious. I mean, Milwaukee is just, the other night was unbelievable. I mean, Giannis is ridiculous. I mean, he's so, and now if he's going to start hitting pull-up jump shots, I think you're all screwed anyway. The Nets are obviously one key injury away from being a real, having depth be a real issue, but right now they look fine, with KD and Harden. Those guys are two of the top, 75 players of all time, actually. So those two guys on the same team are really scary. Then after that, it's a little questionable, right? You have Miami, you have Atlanta, you have the Knicks, you have Boston, and you have a team like Philly, which, again, there's talent there, but what does the Ben Simmons thing yield? Does that trade actually happen? Whatever. So I think they're probably somewhere between 6 and 3. And the problem is, if you want to line it up, who do you line up with? Do you want to get the 4 and hope, because you want to have home court for the first round, no question, but you're going to have to play somebody really good between Brooklyn and Milwaukee. So do you want to be the 4 so you get Milwaukee, or do you want to be the 3 so you play Brooklyn? And I don't know if I have an answer to that question right now. I think I'd rather play Brooklyn, but do you really want to play?
Keep in mind, Kyrie's going to be vaccinated and playing by then.
So look, I don't know. I'm not going to touch that. But anyway, I think
that's my belief. I think money talks.
I don't know, Kyrie. Kyrie's a different dude. I'm not going to comment on that because I don't have to worry about Kyrie in the Celtics uniform anymore. I don't have to worry about that anymore. not my issue.
Writing him off.
I'm done. No, I'm done. I talk. The only things I talk about Kyrie are the positive things he contributes off the floor, which I think are things that we need to actually talk about. So
there you go.
And the thing with the top of the East is there's the top 2 tier. Then after that, it's just, we don't know yet. And I think there are a lot of teams that can play the, we think we're here card, or we think we're here card. I think Boston, gun to my head right now, feels like a 5 seed, which seems bad because you're going to play the Bucks if you win that series and not have home court. But that's what it feels like right now. But that could easily change as we see guys get healthy. But again, I was encouraged by last night. I think the Knicks and Boston are, in terms of competitiveness, I think they both compete really hard. I think Boston's more talented than them, but that doesn't always matter at the end of the day. So I think gun to my head over, but a 5 seed right now is my prediction.
So,
don't gamble though. Don't bet on me. Just don't do that.
Fade Evan, the Celtics are screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where the hell they're going to seed, because I think, as you're both saying, I think the East is just so jam packed. I think it's so jam packed that, there's not going to be a big difference between, let's say, 3 through 6 or something like that. That being said, I'm going to put them at 48 wins. 48 is a number that I like for the Celtics this year. Feels about right. To the people that have them out there at 50 plus, or had them out there at 50 plus coming into the year, that just seems like a little bit of a reach for me, especially in, year one of Ime and trying to figure all this out. But I absolutely believe they're a better team than last year. I think they're deeper than last year. I think they're more well-rounded than last year. And hopefully, especially just with a new voice and a new coach, no matter who it is, I feel like they had better be more focused than they were last year. So 48 is where I'm going to put them. But before we go,
wait, I just want to say my under is based a lot also in that I feel like expectations are what doomed this team the last 2 years. And so I'm gonna slow play. And then, when they exceed those expectations.
There it is. I like that. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
That's the right way to do it.
Play both angles. Be like, I was right, or this team surpassed my expectations. So you can't lose.
I got them at 42 wins. Prove me wrong. Do it. Hopefully they're good. Look, it's good for all of us, obviously, if they're good, and it's good for everybody out there listening, because I assume if you're not a Celtics fan, you're not listening.